She announced on Instagram Live, changing his locks right now. Watch me kick him out of his own apartment, then tried to change my locks while streaming. I calmly called entertainment for your followers. Then I had building security escort her out while still live streaming. When her 11,000 followers watched security explain she wasn't on the lease. I'm Nolan Pierce, 34, construction project manager in Portland. Been living in my downtown condo for 2.5 years, $12,400 a month. But it's worth it for the location and the fact that my name is the only one on that lease. Cassidy Monroe moved in 6 months ago. 27, part-time barista, aspiring influencer with 8,500 Instagram followers. Her previous roommate situation didn't work out. Translation: she got kicked out for not paying her share of the rent. Red flag number 1 that I chose to ignore. We'd been together for 8 months total when this happened. The day that changed everything started like any other Tuesday. I was on site for a commercial renovation project, dealing with delayed steel deliveries and permit issues. My phone started buzzing during our morning safety meeting. Ignored it. You don't check your phone during safety meetings in construction. That's how accidents happen. Meeting wrapped up 20 minutes later. Check my phone. 15 texts from different people. Pete from my crew. Dude, your girl is losing her mind on Instagram. Danny, bro, you need to see this now. Even Mitch, who barely uses social media. What the hell is Cassidy doing? Opened Instagram. There she was. Live. 8,247 viewers and climbing. Sitting on my couch in my condo, holding up a receipt from Home Depot. So yeah, I just bought this deadbolt kit for $38.99, going to install it myself while he's at work. He thinks he can just ignore my texts all morning? Nah. When he gets home tonight, his key won't work. Let's see how he likes that. The comments were exploding. Get it, girl. This is iconic. Make him pay. Queen behavior. I stared at my phone. She was announcing a felony to nearly 9,000 people. Illegal eviction, broadcast live. Here's the thing most people don't understand about construction work. We deal with contracts, liability, legal issues every single day. I know what illegal eviction looks like because I've seen contractors get sued for it. What Cassidy was doing wasn't just stupid, it was criminal. Called building security immediately. Hey, this is Unit 12B. I need someone up here now. My girlfriend is on Instagram Live announcing she's changing my locks and evicting me. Sir, is she on your lease? No, I'm the sole leaseholder. She's a guest who's attempting to illegally evict me, and she's broadcasting it to 9,000 people. We'll send someone immediately. Told my foreman I had an emergency. Drove home doing exactly the speed limit because getting pulled over while your apartment's being stolen would make a bad day worse. Kept. The live stream open, she was now attempting to install the deadbolt, failing spectacularly. Okay, so, these instructions make 0 sense. Like, why are there 4 different diagrams? Whatever, I'm a strong, independent woman. I can figure out a stupid lock. Viewer count, 90891. Someone commented, "Girl, is this even legal?" She read it aloud. "Is this legal? Yeah. I've lived here for 6 months. It's called common law or whatever. He can't do anything about it." Another comment. "That's not how that works." "Whatever, you're not a lawyer. I know my rights." I pulled into the parking garage, texted security. "I'm in the building, coming up now." The elevator ride felt endless. I could hear her through the door, still streaming, still talking. Unlocked my door with my key, walked in. She was on the floor surrounded by lock parts, screws, and my cordless drill. Her phone was propped on the coffee table, camera facing her. "Oh, perfect," she said, looking up at me. "Everyone, look who decided to show up. Mr. Too Important for his girlfriend." "Hey, Cassidy, what are you doing?" "What does it look like? I'm changing the locks on my apartment." "Our apartment," she corrected herself. "My apartment, my lease, my name only." She stood up, grabbed her phone, turned the camera on me. "See, this is what I've been dealing with. My apartment, my lease. Like I don't even exist. You exist, you're just not on my lease. You've lived here for 6 months as my guest. Viewer count, 11,334. Someone was definitely screen recording this. You can't just throw me out. You're literally trying to throw me out. On Instagram, to 11,000 people. Knock on the door, security. Her face changed. Panic, then anger. You called security on me? You announced you were committing a felony on social media. Yeah, I called security. Open the door. 2 security officers. Martinez, the older guy who'd been there since I moved in, and Thompson, newer guy who looked like he was trying not to laugh. Sir, Martinez said, you called about an illegal eviction attempt? Yep. She's live streaming herself, trying to change my locks and evict me from my own condo. I held up my phone showing my lease on the building's resident portal, my name only. Thompson looked at her phone, still streaming. Ma'am, you're broadcasting this? Yes, everyone needs to see how he treats me. How many viewers? Over 11,000. He nodded slowly. So, 11,000 people just watched you admit to attempted illegal eviction. It's not illegal. I live here. Are you on the lease? Martinez asked. I don't need to be. We're in a relationship. That's not how leases work, ma'am. This is insane. Are you seriously taking his side? We're taking the law's side, Martinez said. Do you pay rent here? We split expenses. Do you pay rent to the building? Silence. Ma'am, if you're not on the lease and you don't pay rent directly to the property management company, you're a guest. The leaseholder can ask you to leave at any time. She turned to me. You're really doing this? In front of everyone? You announced you were evicting me on Instagram Live. Yeah, I'm really doing this. I was joking. You bought a $39 lock kit. You drilled holes in my door frame. I pointed to the door. She'd actually damaged it trying to install the new deadbolt. That's not a joke. That's property destruction. Martinez examined the door. Did you damage the door, ma'am? It's not damage. I was installing a new lock. On property you don't own. That's vandalism. Her face went white. Sir, Martinez looked at me. Do you want her removed from the premises? The comments on her live stream were going insane. Half her followers were screaming about misogyny. The other half were saying things like, girl, you just incriminated yourself, and this is the best content I've ever seen. Yes, I want her out. Today. Now. No, she started crying. I have nowhere to go. You should have considered that before trying to steal my apartment. I wasn't stealing anything. You were changing the locks to prevent me from entering my own home. That's textbook theft of housing. Thompson stepped forward. Ma'am, you need to pack your belongings. You have 30 minutes. 30 minutes? That's not enough time. You're lucky we're giving you that. Technically, he could have you removed immediately for trespassing. She looked at her phone, then at me. You're really going to make me pack on camera? Make this public? You made this public, not me. She ended the live stream. 11,098 viewers when it cut off. She started throwing clothes into garbage bags, crying loudly. Security stood there watching to make sure she didn't take anything of mine. She grabbed my PlayStation controller. That's mine, I said. You gave this to me. I let you use it. It's mine. Put it back. She threw it at the TV. Missed. Thompson picked it up. Ma'am, if you damage any more property, we're calling the police. 28 minutes later, she was done. 3 garbage bags of clothes, her makeup, her laptop. What about the rest of my stuff? Text me when you want to pick it up. I'll be here with security. You're not coming back alone. This is illegal. No, Martinez said. This is legal, very legal. What you tried to do was illegal. They escorted her to the lobby, made sure she left the building, came back to check on me. The door frame was damaged from her drill attempts. The lock was half installed, unusable, called building maintenance. They sent someone up within an hour, fixed it, charged me $125, small price for peace of mind. Sat on my couch, opened Instagram. She'd already posted to her story. Just got illegally evicted. He called security on me. I'm homeless. This is domestic violence. The video was everywhere by midnight. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube compilations. Someone had screen recorded the entire live stream. Entitled, Girlfriend Tries. To steal apartment on Instagram Live. 892K views and climbing. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. Pete called first. Dude, what the actual hell? Yeah, she tried to steal my apartment, on camera, to 12,000 people. Is she actually that stupid? Apparently. Danny called next. Bro, I watched that whole thing. She really thought she could just take your place. She did it on live stream, man. 11,000 witnesses. That's insane. You handled it perfectly, though. Cold as ice. Mitch texted, saw the video. Girl's crazy. You good? Her Instagram was a disaster. Story after story about how I threw her out with nowhere to go and security brutalized her. The comments were split between her core followers supporting her and everyone else pointing out that she'd live-streamed herself committing a crime. But her supporters were loud and organized. They started a hashtag, Yandu Justice for Victims. Posted my full name, my workplace, my building address, everything. Friday morning, HR called me in. We've been getting calls. I know, my ex-girlfriend is directing her followers to harass my workplace. She's claiming you abused her. I showed them the full video. She tried to illegally evict me from my apartment on Instagram Live. Here's the evidence. The HR director watched the whole thing. She really announced she was stealing your apartment to 12,000 people? 11,698 to be exact. We'll flag any future calls as harassment, but you should probably get a lawyer. Got a lawyer that afternoon. Jeffrey Walsh comes recommended by guys on my crew who've dealt with divorce issues. Showed him everything. He actually smiled. She recorded herself committing attempted illegal eviction. Yep, and posted it publicly. This is the easiest case I've ever seen. Don't delete anything. Save everything. Screenshot every threat, every harassment post. If she tries to sue, we'll countersue for property damage, harassment, and defamation. That night, she showed up at my building again. Security called. Sir, she's back, demanding to be let up. She's not on my approved guest list anymore, right? Correct. We told her she can't enter. She's refusing to leave the lobby. Give her one warning, then call the police for trespassing. 15 minutes later. Police are here. She's being escorted off property. No charges filed, just a warning. She posted about it immediately. Cops called on me for trying to get my belongings. This is harassment. More hashtags. More of my information getting posted. Someone doxed my parking spot number. Sunday, I got a letter from her lawyer. Budget firm, template cease and desist, claiming I owed her $6,500. Breakdown, $3,000 for rent contributions, a $500 for her share of the security deposit, $1,000 for emotional distress, and $1,000 for belongings withheld. Walsh responded Monday morning. Letter was beautiful, professional, but brutal. Your client paid no rent to the property management company. Any money exchange was between private parties for shared living expenses. She has no claim to the security deposit as she was never on the lease. Furthermore, she owes my client $120 for property damage during her illegal eviction attempt. We have video evidence of her admitting to attempted theft of housing, broadcast to nearly 12,000 witnesses. Her lawyer dropped her 3 days later. Tuesday, she showed up with her mom, waiting outside my door when I got home from work. We need to talk, Gloria Monroe said. Nope. My daughter has rights. Your daughter tried to steal my apartment on Instagram Live. She was emotional. She made a mistake. A $39 deadbolt kit mistake. A property damage mistake. A 12,000 witnesses mistake. You can't just throw someone out? I can. I did. Security backed me up. Now you're both trespassing. Cassidy stood up. I'm pregnant. I stopped. You're what? Pregnant. With your baby. You're throwing out the mother of your child. You're lying. I'm not. When did you find out? 2 weeks ago. Show me the test. I don't have it with me. Show me a doctor's note. I haven't been to the doctor yet. Convenient. Gloria got in my face. How dare you question her? She's carrying your child. If she is, which I doubt, she can text me proof. Until then, you're both trespassing. Called security. Martinez and Thompson came up again. Thompson wasn't even trying to hide his grin anymore. Really? Martinez looked at me. She claims she's pregnant now. He looked at her. Ma'am, that doesn't give you tenancy rights. I'm carrying his child. That's between you two and potentially family court. It doesn't change the fact that you don't live here anymore. They escorted both of them out. She posted about it. Threw me out, even though I'm pregnant. He's abandoning his child. I posted my only response to the whole situation. Screenshot of her I'm pregnant text, followed by waiting for proof. Will update when provided. Never got proof. Shocker. 3 weeks later, she tried one more legal approach, small claims court, suing me for $6,500. Court day was surreal. She showed up with Gloria and a 3-ring binder full of evidence. I showed up with Walsh and a USB drive. Judge called our case. Her opening statement was 5 minutes of how I financially abused her and trapped her in a relationship and threw her out with nowhere to go. Walsh's opening: Your Honor, we have video evidence of the defendant announcing she was illegally evicting my client from his apartment while broadcasting live to nearly 12,000 people on Instagram. He played the video in court, the whole thing. Her announcing the eviction, attempting to install the lock, me walking in, security explaining she wasn't on the lease, her claiming ownership of property she had no legal right to occupy. The judge watched it all, looked at her. You recorded yourself doing this? I was emotional, Your Honor. You purchased lock-changing equipment, brought it to an apartment you don't lease, attempted to change the locks, and broadcast it on social media to thousands of people. He was ignoring my texts. That doesn't give you the right to steal his apartment. I wasn't stealing anything. What would you call changing someone's locks to prevent them from entering their own home? Silence. Judge went through every item on her claim, destroyed them systematically. Rent contributions. She never paid rent to the building. Security deposit share. She was never on the lease. Emotional distress. She caused her own distress by attempting a crime. Withheld belongings. She was given multiple opportunities to collect her items with security present. Case dismissed. However, ma'am, filing frivolous lawsuits wastes court time and resources. You are ordered to pay court costs of $275. Additionally, if you continue to harass the plaintiff, he has grounds for a restraining order. Do you understand? She was crying. This isn't fair. You recorded yourself attempting a crime and posted it publicly. You're lucky you're not facing criminal charges. Outside the courthouse, Gloria started yelling at me. You've destroyed her life. She has nothing now. She destroyed her own life on Instagram Live to 12,000 people. She made one mistake. She made about 50 mistakes, all recorded, all public, all her fault. Walked away. Walsh was grinning. That was beautiful. Judge absolutely demolished her. She's not going to stop, is she? She will when she realizes she's losing money every time she tries something. It's been 4 months since the Instagram Live disaster. The video has 1.8 million views now across all platforms. It's been featured on Legal Breakdown YouTube channels, drama commentary channels, even a Lawyer Reacts to Worst Tenancy Claims Ever series. Her Instagram following crashed from 8,500 to 3,200, lost more than half. The ones who stayed are mostly there to watch the train wreck continue. She moved back in with Gloria 2 hours away. According to mutual friends, the few who still talk to me about her, she's working on herself, which apparently means complaining about me 24/7 and planning her comeback. Posted a video last week, story time, how my ex stole my home. Completely rewritten history. Now she was basically on the lease and did pay rent. And I planned the whole thing, and security was corrupt. Comments roasted her. Girl, we all saw the video. You can't gaslight the internet. Just take the L and move on. My condo is peaceful now. Fixed all the damage she caused. Cost $125 total, which she never paid back. Small price for peace of mind. Building security knows her on site. She's permanently banned. They updated her photo in the system. Do not allow entry under any circumstances. Started dating again. Went on a date last week with someone from a dating app. She asked about the story. It's Googleable at this point. She laughed. Did you really just calmly call it entertainment for your followers? That's what she wanted, right? Entertainment. That's cold. She tried to steal my apartment on Instagram Live. I'm not worried about being cold. The work situation settled down after a few weeks. HR flagged all calls from her followers. Haven't heard anything in months. Her cancel campaign fizzled when people realized she'd recorded herself committing a crime. My lease renewal came up last month. Decided to renew for another 2 years. I'm not letting her chase me out of my home. This is my place. She was here 6 months. I've been here 2.5 years. She doesn't get to take that from me. Got better locks though. Smart locks where I can see who's at my door from my phone. Also got a Ring doorbell and security cameras. Probably paranoid, but after someone tries to steal your home on live stream, paranoia seems reasonable. People ask if I feel bad about humiliating her. I don't. She humiliated herself. I just documented it. She chose to broadcast her crime. She chose to keep lying about it. She chose to sue me for fake damages. She chose to send her followers after me. Every consequence she faced was a direct result of her choices. She wanted Instagram fame. She got it, just not the kind she wanted. 11,698 people watched her try to steal an apartment. 1.8 million more have watched it since. That's not my fault. That's hers. The internet doesn't forget. That video isn't going away. Every future boyfriend, every job interview, every new apartment application. Someone will eventually Google her name and find it. That's her legacy, not mine. Pete stopped by last week while I was upgrading my security system. Helped me install the new cameras. "You know what I respect about how you handled this?" he said, drilling mounting holes. "You didn't lose your cool, didn't get emotional, just let her bury herself." "Construction taught me that," I said. "When someone's making a mistake that's going to cost them, sometimes the best thing to do is get out of the way and let them finish." "She definitely finished," Danny added. He'd brought beer and was supervising from my couch. "Girl went full demolition on her own life." Mitch nodded. "On camera, no less. That's some next-level stupidity right there." "The crazy part is she keeps doubling down," Pete said. "Saw her latest post, still claiming she was in the right." "Let her," I said. "Every time she posts about it, more people see the original video. She's her own worst enemy at this point." The guys from my crew have been solid throughout this whole thing. When the harassment calls started coming to our job sites, they shut that down fast. Union brotherhood matters in construction. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. The dating scene at 34 is interesting. Most women my age appreciate a man who has his life together. Own place, stable job, handles problems calmly. The Instagram situation actually became a weird selling point. Shows I can handle crazy ex-girlfriend drama without becoming dramatic myself. Had coffee with someone new yesterday. Sarah, nurse at OHSU, owns her own condo downtown. We talked about property investment, the Portland market, normal adult stuff. When she asked about the viral video thing she'd Googled, I gave her the short version. "So, she tried to steal your apartment live on Instagram?" "Basically, yeah. And you just called security?" "What else was I going to do? Yell at her?" That's what she wanted, drama for content. She smiled. "That's actually really smart. Let her create her own consequences." "Exactly. That's the thing people don't always understand about construction work. We solve problems methodically, measure twice, cut once, plan the job, work the plan. Getting emotional usually makes things worse, not better. Cassidy was a problem to be solved, not a person to argue with. Once I realized that, everything became simple. My building management actually thanked me. Turns out they'd been dealing with similar issues from other residents' guests who thought staying somewhere for a few months gave them tenant rights. My situation, and the viral video evidence, helped them create clearer policies. Now, every lease renewal comes with an addendum about guest policies and illegal eviction attempts. They're calling it the Instagram clause. I'm weirdly proud of that. The neighborhoods noticed the change too. Mrs. Chen from 8A stopped me in the elevator last week. "That girl who used to visit you, she was always loud in hallways, much quieter now." "She doesn't visit anymore," I said. "Good. Building is more peaceful. Even the property value benefits. Nothing drives down condo prices like drama and police visits. Stability matters when you're building equity. Speaking of equity, I'm considering buying in the next year or two. Rent's been stable, but ownership makes more sense long term. Maybe something with a little more space, possibly outside downtown." The whole experience made me think about what I really want in a living situation. Definitely not someone who thinks 6 months of guest status equals ownership rights. The legal aftermath wrapped up cleaner than Walsh expected. Cassidy never paid the $275 court costs. There's probably a warrant for her arrest for contempt, but that's her problem. Her frivolous lawsuit actually helped my case by creating an official record of her baseless claims. Walsh kept copies of everything. Says it's the best evidence package he's ever assembled for documenting harassment and defamation. If she ever tries anything again, we're ready. But I don't think she will. The internet broke her spirit. Used to be, when someone did something stupid, only their immediate circle knew about it. Now, 1.8 million people have seen her at her absolute worst moment. That kind of public humiliation changes people. Some learn from it, some don't. Based on her recent posts, she's firmly in the don't category. Still playing victim, still rewriting history, still not taking responsibility. That's fine. The video speaks for itself. My life's good. Work steady, new projects coming in, cruise tight, home secure, neighborhoods peaceful, dating's promising. The whole situation taught me something important about boundaries and consequences. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. Sometimes it's just letting someone face the natural consequences of their choices while you get on with your life. Cassidy chose to steal my apartment on Instagram Live in front of 11,698 people. I chose to enforce my property rights calmly and legally. 4 months later, she's living with her mother, and internet famous for all the wrong reasons. I'm here, in my condo, planning my next renovation project and my future. The difference between us isn't luck, it's choices. She made hers, I made mine. The internet documented both. And somewhere in a small town, 2 hours away, she's probably still telling people she's the victim. The beautiful thing about living in the digital age is that everyone can watch the video and decide for themselves. 1.8 million people and counting have made their choice. Mine was the right one.